item will be to approve minutes of the November 5th, 2013 regular meeting.
So moved.
Move to second to approve the minutes November 5th, 2013 regular meeting. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. There are no drainage repairs today that we could find. We'll go on to item number 3, which is to approve the hiring and appointing of Susan K. Timmerman, part-time dental hygienist, effective November 18th, 2013, at a rate of $24.50 per hour per recommendation of Carrie Prescott, Public Health Director. Mr. Chairman, I'll move item 3.
Second.
Second, to approve the hiring and employment of Susan K. Timmerman. Questions, comments, reference this item? Receiving none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 4 is to approve the request to fill a part-time vacancy for a female correction officer position with Ashley Guthrie at a rate of $14.15 per hour effective November 13, 2013 per Stephen Elephants, jail administrator.
Mr. Chairman, I move item number 4. Second.
Been moved and seconded that we request that we fill a part-time female correction officer position with Ashley Guthrie. Comments, questions? Receiving none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item number 5 is to consider and/or approve an authorized chair to sign agreement with Community and Family Resources in Webster County, Iowa for payment of substance abuse costs and mental health costs for Webster County residents effective October 1st, 2013.
Mr. Chairman, I move item 5. I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we consider approve the authorized chair to sign agreement with Community and Family Resources. Are there any comments about this particular item?
I'd like to ask Mr. Hayes to address the board.
I thank you for the opportunity to speak to the board on this issue. I guess one of the concerns certainly that we have is that this is going to double the cost per day for individuals who are offered services with Community Family Resources for detox, social detox. Where this comes from is the County Social Services has agreed with Community and Family Resources to enter into a contract to provide crisis stabilization services for individuals who present there in crisis, whether it's detox, mental health, for stabilization where they would normally be hospitalized. And the rate for that is the same rate that is being proposed in this contract, $421 per day. Currently our rate, I believe, for detox, social detox that we have with Community and Family Resources is $215 per day, which was basically almost double, as I said, the charge. We certainly have not budgeted that amount for this year. We budgeted based upon the contracted amount. We would need to do some major adjustments in our budget. I don't know where we would come up with additional dollars for that. I believe, quite honestly, that the services of Community and Family Resources are valuable services. The detox service is something that we need to have, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. We've been supportive of that service, and it's something that we believe has better outcomes if there's voluntary participation in the service as opposed to involuntary through the courts. It saves court costs as well as the other costs related to transportation and all that other things. But I think that at this time, I don't know that we can afford to do $421 a day. I don't know if that's helpful. Are there questions about that? Yeah, Mark.
If we have a contract with them, or do we have a contract with them, how's it changed in the middle of the contract?
I believe that the contract is on the fiscal year. Is that right, Carol?
Your budget certainly is.
Right, and so I believe the contract is supposed to be changed at any time. I don't know when the last time we signed a contract with them. That was before my...
Is this rate consistent with other agencies throughout the state? Are they making an adjustment to be consistent with other agencies, or
I think they're making the adjustment because they're losing money on the service. And one of the questions we asked them was, how can we, what's going on with your agency that you've been able to manage at this rate, even though you're losing money? And she said, well, we may do. I I did contact Michelle. Michelle was very willing to come and speak to the board, very interested in doing so, to make a case for their request for increase. However, today did not work for her to do so. So you may want to, to ask her to come and speak to the board to support the request, and then take action at that time. But that would be certainly, because I think she could make a good case for the need for the increase. It may be something that her board, I think Clark, you sit on that board, that board would maybe make some.
Where are we at in relationship to other agencies in the state that do detox and stabilization? Where's that rate at, or do we have any comparisons?
I don't have a comparison at this point. Like I say, what they really were looking at, this rate was originally figured based upon crisis stabilization, which would involve inpatient substance abuse as well as mental health services. They would have telehealth available for the individual, so anybody that shows up at their door would be able to access either detox or mental health services, which is really an excellent service. We're now paying for people to go to Waterloo for that same service. We would be able to provide that same service here. I think it's an excellent service. We need it here. It would provide a service at this end of our region that would reduce our costs for transportation and provide a really excellent service. I just don't know for social detox that we can, at this point, with the budget that we have, make that work.
So where will those people go? What's going to happen when we go to this?
I would assume that they would, I don't know what they were going to, whether they would discontinue the service. I don't know that they would do that, but currently we're paying $215 per day while this is being worked out. I have not talked to Michelle about what their expectation would be.
So we don't have a contract with them for a set rate currently?
We don't.
Okay.
Oh, I don't. Well, I assume we do, but it was signed before my time. I don't know where the contract would be, but it was at $215 per day. Yeah.
Would that contract be part of the 28E cooperative contract now or not?
I don't think we have a 28E with the community.
No, but through the mental health substance abuse
Yeah.
reorganization.
County Social Services.
But that's a different service that's being provided.
Right. Now, this is a whole, and I think that's where some of the confusion came. County Social Services has a contract in place with Community Family Resources to provide this crisis service, but not the social detox individual. So that's where the confusion came.
And I understand City Park's going through a lot of restructuring, and it could be a case that this has never been adjusted over the last
Right.
3
It
to
has
5
not.
years.
It has not.
Or longer even, and they need to get consistent with other parts of the state to be fair to everybody, but I would like to see that.
Yeah.
I'd like, if we can, maybe table this until Michelle can come and discuss this, and I'm okay with the adjustment, validated with other agencies. But I think until we see that.
And keep in mind that if that's the case, then we need to take a look at how we can fund that.
Right, because it's gonna have to be an amendment for him.
Well, but it's more than that, because we've levied, we've pulled in the taxes to pay for it as well. We gotta get the money from somewhere else, because it hasn't been levied. So that's a problem I think we need to address, and I'll give you my personal take on it. It appears to me that CFR got this rate for the crisis intervention and decided, well, this looks like this is great. Let's go ahead and move for the rate for social detox. I too would like to see CFR show up and give us some justification, and then I believe they need to understand that rate increases need to be made and agreed upon so that they can be budgeted and make it work so that there is funding for it. But at this point, it's going to put us in line to provide these services.
Because currently you said they are going to Waterloo for these services.
For crisis stabilization, yes.
Detox they do here.
Right, detox is here, but unfortunately we have transportation costs that do increase.
Exactly.
However, if that's still less expensive than going locally, we have to look at that.
Right.
This may be, it is comparing apples and oranges, I guess, but what's the going rate, for skilled care nursing?
I couldn't tell you.
To me, this smacks a pretty fair rate. I mean, more so than what skilled care is per day. I may be wrong about that, but
If we put somebody in a hospital for this service, cost per day is somewhere in the range of anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a day for